welcome to yoga. I'm really happy you could join me today. Our sequence is going to be a gentle vinyasa flow, kind of grounding us down into ourselves, connecting to our breath, and then maybe creating a little bit of heat in the body. So let's start in mountain pose. Maybe your feet are hip width distance or slightly wider, finding that comfortable, strong stance in our mountain. Beginning with our feet, feeling that connection on all four corners of our feet, and then sending that awareness up through our ankles, coming up into our calves and thighs. Maybe igniting that root lock, that mula bandha. So kind of imagine that you're zipping up a pair of pants, kind of pulling that up and in while leaving a nice curve in your lower back. Opening up the chest, sending the shoulders down away from the ears. And then gently bringing the palms so they're facing forward. Igniting the muscles in your thighs. Eyes are gently closed or a gentle gaze on the floor. Kind of inviting in some softening to happen in your face, around your jaw. And as you feel strong, grounded, and connected to the floor, begin to bring your awareness to your inhales and your exhales. Noticing your body, noticing how you might be feeling. Are there any spaces that you feel any tension? And just taking notice of those spots. And maybe today in your practice, being a little bit more gentle in those areas and allowing some release there as well. Let's bring one hand to our chest, one hand to our belly. Bringing that awareness and sensation into our hands as we feel the expansion of our breath. Relax the jaw, relax the skin around your eyes. We're going to take a couple more mindful breaths here. Letting go of anything that's not serving us right here, right now in our practice. Allowing ourselves to be fully present in our body, with our breath, and with our thoughts. Release those hands down beside your thighs. Your eyes can either stay gently closed here or allow them to open. We're going to start to warm up the neck and just take your gaze from left to right. This can be a nice, slow, fluid movement, linking this to your breath. Do two more. Last one here. We'll meet back in the middle. And then adding a little bend in our knees, we're just gonna roll those shoulders. Maybe noticing if we're feeling any tightness or tension. Inhaling as our shoulders come up, exhaling as we release it down and away. from our ears. Let's do one more, and then we're going to reverse our direction, reversing that roll. Last one. Ooh, coming back to that stillness, holding here for a breath. We're going to inhale our hands up as we reach, interlacing those fingers, turning those palms out so they're facing the ceiling. Inhale as we reach over to the right side of the room. Inhale back. Exhale, reaching over to that left. Let's find that one more time. Inhale back to center, reaching right. Coming back. Exhale, releasing those hands down. Leaving your hands next to your thighs, or maybe bring your hands to your hips. We're just going to do some nice little circle rolls. Knees can be nice and bent here. Just sending our awareness into our pelvis, into our hips. Kind of waking that area up a little bit. And then one last circle. Let's reverse that direction. Let's do one more here. And then maybe stepping our feet in a little bit closer together. We're going to find that with our knees. So taking our palms so they're sliding down to our knees, and then doing a nice little circle here with those knees. Bringing our awareness into this space. One last circle, and we're going to switch directions. Last one here. Coming back to stillness, coming up to standing. We're going to shift our weight onto that left foot, finding a nice ankle circle here. So imagine taking that big toe, it's like you're drawing an imaginary circle in the air. Reverse that direction. Playing with some balancing here as well. Release that back down, shifting the weight onto the right, lifting up that left leg, and then drawing that imaginary circle with that big left toe. Reverse directions. Release that down. Before we start into our sun salutations, we're just going to kind of shake our body, shake our legs, shake our arms, kind of release that tension, loosen up the body. I know we warmed up the whole body, but this is more of an energetic release. It's kind of fun to maybe shake up and down, get all those wiggles out. And then when you feel like you've gotten all the wiggles out that you need, let's meet at the top of our mat. We're going to do a couple of sun salutations, or Surya Namaskar A. So inhaling as we reach up towards the ceiling, exhaling swan dive, coming into our first forward fold. Knees can be nice and bent here, releasing our head and neck. It might feel good here to shake our head from side to side, front to back, or stillness. Always listening to your body, what feels good, noticing those things, and then honoring that in your own body. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening through the spine here. Exhale, releasing back down, bending those knees, planting those palms onto the mat, stepping back to a plank or half plank, coming down onto your knees, lowering through to that chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, chest lifts, gaze stays down. And then pushing up through a tabletop, tucking those toes, finding our first down dog. Knees can be nice and bent here, maybe walking that dog out or keeping it in stillness. Knowing that this is your body, your practice, doing what feels good to you. And then coming back to stillness, let's come up onto those toes, sending our gaze towards the front of our mat as our feet step towards the front. Finding that forward fold. And then slowly coming up to standing, taking a breath here. Inhale as we lengthen and reach. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release down, finding that plank. Lowering down through that chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Pressing through tabletop into down dog. And maybe noticing when you're in down dog, if you're pulling your shoulders towards your ears or if you're allowing them to release and open up the sides of your neck. Let's come up onto those toes, gaze goes forward, stepping to the front. And then I'm going to allow you to do 2 more of these at your own pace. Linking this movement to your own breath, going at your own pace. And then when you find yourself in that down dog, coming back up. Holding in that down dog. And then we're just going to hold here for a few breaths. And then coming up onto those toes, sending our gaze as we step forward. And then inhale all the way back up to standing. Let's bring our hands to heart center, pressing those thumbs into our sternum as we feel our heart beating in our chest. Got those muscles working. And then releasing those hands down. We're going to shift our weight onto that left leg. Stepping that right leg back, finding warrior 2. So that back foot should be out slightly, kind of at a 45-degree angle. And arms can come straight out in front or sending them up towards the ceiling. Feeling strong in that warrior 1. Paying attention to that lower back, because this is kind of a little back bend here. So if you're feeling any pinching or any tension in that area, knowing that your hands can rest on the back of your lower back. And then exhale, releasing those hands back behind. Hands can either interlace and rest on your lower back or palms flat on your lower back. And we're going to find humble warrior. So back is flat as we send our chest towards that left front thigh. Kind of playing with a little bit of balance here. Inhale back to center. And then stepping forward. Finding that mountain pose. Breathing here. salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening here. Exhale, stepping back through plank, coming down into our chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Tabletop to down dog. And then coming up onto those toes, gaze goes forward, feet step to the front. Coming all the way back up to standing. Shifting that weight onto the right side. Stepping that left foot back. Feet are at a 45-degree angle. Finding the hands that work for you. Feeling strong in this warrior one. Keeping that awareness with our breath. And then exhale, releasing those hands back behind. Fingers can either be interlaced or flat on the lower back. And then bringing our chest towards that right thigh in humble warrior. Let's inhale back to the top, finding that warrior one. And then stepping up to the front of our mat, releasing our hands down. Taking a breath here. Let's inhale as we reach up. Exhale as we find our chair pose. And finding those arms. So arms can be straight out in front, parallel with your ears. Or your arms can even be kind of sending down into the mat. And then release through that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, finding that plank or half plank. Lowering down through our chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Table to down dog. Staying here for a few rounds of breath. Maybe we close our eyes, taking our awareness inside, noticing how we're feeling. And then on your next exhale, bringing those knees down onto the mat, releasing those feet, spreading those fingers out wide, feeling that full connection to the floor. And then let's find some cat-cows here. So sending that belly towards the mat, gaze goes out to the front, tucking chin, curling your back. Feeling this movement from the tip of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Keeping that connection to your breath. Let's do a couple more here. Last one, we'll meet in neutral spine. And then we're going to find bird dog. So we're going to send that left leg out, tucking those toes, pressing into the ball of that left foot. You might have to reposition your hands, making sure our wrists are below those shoulders. And then feeling nice and connected and strong here, lifting up that left leg, and then reaching up with that right. Engaging that middle section. Keep breathing, releasing that hand, releasing that foot. We're going to bring the inside of that foot so it's parallel to the short sides of our mat and lifting that left arm up, opening opening up. This is playing with a little bit of balance. So if you need to kick that back leg out a little bit more, using it as a kickstand to kind of feel that connection, that stability, feel free to do so. And then release, coming back to center, tabletop. And then we're going to do that on the right side. So sitting that right foot out, pressing into the ball of that right foot. Feeling that connection and strength in your base. Lifting that right leg up to hip height. And then reaching forward with that left hand. Feeling nice and strong, pulling that belly button to the back of your spine. And then let's release that hand, release that foot, bringing the inside of that foot so it's parallel with the short sides of our mat. Finding that kickstand with the back, opening up to the right. Gaze could go up towards the ceiling, but if you feel any pinching sensation or slight discomfort, gaze can go out to the side or down to that rooted hand. Breathing here. Exhale, releasing that hand back down. Finding tabletop. Checking in with our alignment. And then taking those feet, kind of crossing those feet to the back. Coming back and then bringing those feet forward, coming into staff pose. Finding staff pose here, inhaling, lengthening through the spine as though a string is kind of pulling us from the center of our head. Inhale as our hands lift up, and then exhale as we reach down towards our feet. Keeping that back nice and straight. We don't want any curvature or any closing into our body. So if that means we're here, just listening to your body. Wherever we're at is perfect for where we are today. There's no need to have to get there. Just being aware and feeling the sensations in our body and honoring that today in our practice. And then inhale back to center. We're going to bring that left foot up so that left foot's planted onto the mat. Stepping that left foot over so it's on the other side of that right leg. Bringing it kind of close into our body. Interlacing our fingers, kind of grabbing onto that left leg. Allowing us to lengthen here through our spine. And then releasing that left hand as it comes back behind us. And then finding a nice little twist here. Breathing here. Kind of creating a little bit of fire in that digestive system. And then exhale, release back to center. Stay here for a breath. Untwist that left foot. Let's find it on the right side. Bringing that leg up, pulling it into our body. Taking it over to that left leg. Lengthening here. Keeping that left hand connected to that right thigh. Right hand comes back behind, finding that twist. Breathing here. Exhale, release back to center. Stay here for a breath. And then untangle that leg. If you're not already there, coming to the center of our mat, we're going to find boat pose before we make our way onto our backs. So maybe you need to to pull that flesh away from the seat bones, really feeling that connection to the ground. Bringing your hands back behind your thighs, coming up onto the seat bones. Keeping your chest nice and open, shoulders back and down. Your boat can stay here. Or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, your legs can come up. But at no point do your hands ever need to leave your thighs unless you want to come here. But knowing that this boat pose is still working even at this boat pose. So honoring where you are in this boat pose, and even one foot can be still planted on your mat with one leg raising. Maybe you lift the other leg. Release that boat pose. Hug your thighs into your chest. Releasing that, and then let's make our way slowly down onto our back. Staying here for a moment. Feeling our lower back, our upper back, shoulders connecting onto our mat. Making sure feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to tee those arms out and find some windshield wipers. If it feels a little bit better for those feet to be a little bit wider than hip width distance, that's great. Listen to what your body needs today. This is your yoga practice. So letting those knees fall from one side to the other, nice and slow. And maybe if you feel any tension, holding that pose and breathing into that tense spaces. Your eyes can be closed here, which might allow you to have your attention more towards your body and what's going on. And noticing if you're holding any tension in your jaw or around your eyes, releasing that. Let's do one more on each side. Bringing your knees back to center. We're going to make our way into Shavasana. So extending those feet out in front. Maybe bringing your hands a little bit closer to the body, or if it feels good to have them far away from the body. Doing what's more comfortable to you. And then feeling your entire body touching the mat. Your entire back body is connected to your mat. Let's take one inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth, kind of as our last releasing and letting go, so we can allow our body to relax and find some stillness for a little bit today. So inhaling through the nose, and a nice audible exhale out the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Allow that to wash over your body. We're going to start with the head. Releasing and relaxing the head into the mat. Allow there to be a slight space in between your teeth, letting your jaw relax, allowing your tongue to release the back of your throat. Release the skin around your eyes, your eyebrows, and your forehead. Releasing and relaxing your neck. Releasing your shoulders as they feel heavy, sinking to the back of the mat. Release and relax your arms. Feel the heaviness wash over your hands and your fingers. Let your chest release and relax towards the back of your mat. Letting that relaxation move into your belly. Release and relax your hip bones. Release and relax your thighs as they fall towards the back of your mat. Let your knee bones fall to the outside of your mat. Releasing and relaxing your calves and ankles. Let your heels and feet feel heavy as they fall to your mat. Letting this release and relax wash over your entire body. Allow yourself to find that stillness, that heaviness. Surrender to the feeling of total relaxation. Start to bring yourself back into this body, back into this room. Maybe you start to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Maybe you bring some gentle movements to your head. Fingers, toes, wrists. And then when you feel ready, we're going to plant those feet down onto the mat. Knees are bent. And then making a pillow with one arm, whichever arm you decide to roll onto, coming onto your side. Eyes remain closed. Taking a few breaths here. And then pressing up into easy pose. Bringing our hands onto our knees. Taking a few breaths here. And then let's bring our palms together. Thumbs press up against the sternum, coming to our heart center. Thank yourselves for showing up today. Showing a little gratitude and appreciation to your body. And maybe creating a little bit of space for relaxation. May you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.